And tell me a little bit about, about the language acquisition for Sồi. So he has been here since he was 10 months.
Yeah.
So in terms of his language development, were you nervous about that? Were you nervous about, how was he going to adapt with Vietnamese and English? Were you nervous about, did you have a preference that you wanted him to be speaking?
In terms of language, I do not really have preference, but I like both my children speak both Vietnamese and English fluently.
Yeah.
Not really prefer one
Yes.
over the other. For Oliver, because he grew up in the US, he prefer English. But we kind of force him, or actually encourage him to use Vietnamese at home.
Yes.
So he speak both. But for Sồi, he started speaking here, and he chose Vietnamese first.
Yes.
And
yes.
at first, in the beginning, I was a bit worried that he might not develop enough English to adapt later when we move back to the US. But recently, in the last 6 months, he showed his interest in English as well. He started to use English, and the point I really love it here in that he started speaking English in the whole sentence.
Yes, full sentences, yeah.
Not like single words.
Yes.
And he does not really mix.
Yeah, he doesn't
both
mix
language.
it.
No.
Okay.
He can speak a whole sentence in Vietnamese and then a whole sentence in English, not mixing words like some
Yes.
Vietnamese words with some English words.
Okay.
And I think it's a good sign. And
Yeah.
he intentionally choose a language when he asks us to read books for him, even whether it's a Japanese book or Vietnamese or English book, he would choose the language and ask me to do it. And sometimes I try, like I trick him, like
Yes.
choose another language, and he said, no, not that. I want Vietnamese or I want English.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. Izzy's been here since she was a newborn, and I can hear how different her sounds are to her brothers. I can hear there are Vietnamese sounds, and I can hear the English sounds. And that's something for me that, like, sometimes I worry a little bit, because I think to myself, is she going to come home and just speak Vietnamese to me? And I'm going to be like, I don't know what you want, So I'm interested to know, when Sồi started speaking, did you have that?
Sometimes, but he will, because he loves his mother and he loves the language, so he will try to translate it. And even now, Oliver's 4 years old. Sometimes if I cannot understand Sồi, Oliver will help me translate.
Really?
Yeah, interpret for his brother.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I hope Tate's able to do that if he does it to me.
But
Yeah.
I think when Sồi is growing older, he will try to, he can have the capability to interpret himself or make it more understandable for other people.
Yeah.
Because right now, he will use different language with me and with the grandparents.
Ah, okay.
Yes. He will
Okay.
use like 100% of Vietnamese when he talk to grandparents.
Okay. Okay.
And whenever he speak a sentence or a word that they do not understand, they will ask him to explain it, and he can do it in Vietnamese.
Ah, okay. Okay. Were you ever worried about language disorder with Sồi?
Not really, because if we move, we are planning to move back in 3 years.
Yeah.
And the thing that we are worried is that Sồi will forget Vietnamese at that time. So we let him absorb as much Vietnamese language as possible. And he loves it. He loves the language. He talks a lot with his teacher of guidance here in Vietnamese, and also he has an English speaking teacher here as well.
And his pronunciation in Vietnamese?
It's awesome.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So he's not pronouncing things like he would in English when he is speaking.
Yeah. So it's really good in Vietnamese compared to English.
Yeah.
Vice versa for Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver
Yeah.
speaks faster in English,
Yeah.
but it would take time for him to speak in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But he understands both.
Yeah.
So I believe that Sồi will be the same.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. Yeah, so I'll see how it is with Izzy. You know, it does give me some relief. You know, to hear that. Yeah, because that has been a concern of myself and my husband. But like I say, we can hear the different sounds. We can hear the English and we can hear the Vietnamese.
But if all family members speak English, you don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And now Izzy is in infant class. English is not like the primary language in that class, but the moment Izzy moved to toddler class.
Yeah, it will change, yes.